So, unfortunately, Hillary Clinton is back in the news cycle. She is promoting I think it's like a four-part documentary series called Hillary that will be premiering, I believe, on Hulu in early March. And she says some pretty troubling things about Bernie Sanders in this Hillary docu series, if you will. Not really surprising given the things that she said about Bernie and his campaign in the past, but let's take a look and we'll discuss. So this is an interview that she did with the Hollywood Reporter. It's a question in the doc. You're brutally honest on Sanders. He was in Congress for years. He had one senator support him. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants to work with him. He got nothing done. He was a career politician. It's all just baloney, and I feel so bad that people got sucked into it. That assessment still hold? Yes, it does. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants to work with him. Hillary Clinton, I don't know if you've been paying attention to this election cycle at all, but Bernie Sanders actually has the most campaign contributions at this point in time in the history of the United States. But I guess nobody likes him. I think the nobody likes him, that is in reference to the elite, centrist, neoliberal, status quo pushing circles that Hillary Clinton runs in. Yeah, and it makes sense those people wouldn't be supporting Bernie Sanders because his political agenda is to turn the political establishment on its head and try to make the political system work for the working people of the United States and not these wealthy corporate interests that politicians like Hillary Clinton were beholden to and represented. So yeah, the political establishment doesn't like Bernie Sanders, but he's actually the most popular senator in the whole United States. 65% of people have a favorability towards Bernie Sanders. And again, you're just deflecting for the reasons why that you lost to a buffoon reality TV show host. That shows how unelectable you were, Hillary, and you don't want to do any of that soul searching to see that you were this highly unelectable candidate that lost to Donald Trump of all people. And you're saying that nobody likes Bernie Sanders. Bernie against Trump 2016, he would have won. So it's just more Hillary Clinton just trying to smear Bernie Sanders more, and again, not wanting to take any type of responsibility for how she was able to lose to Donald Trump in 2016. A literal game show host buffoon was able to defeat you, Hillary. So I think you need to do some soul searching and look in the mirror, but of course, you don't want to take any responsibility. You just want to blame it on the Bernie bros and Russia and not have to take that hard look about, why you didn't campaign in the Rust Belt, how you were seen as so corrupt, and all these other things. So this is another question. If he gets the nomination, will you endorse and campaign for him? I'm not going to go there yet. We're still in a very vigorous primary season. I will say, however, that it's not only him. It's the culture around him. It's his leadership team. It's his prominent supporters. It's his online Bernie bros and their relentless attacks on lots of his competitors, particularly the women. And I really hope people are paying attention to that because it should be worrisome that he's permitted this culture. Not only permitted, he seems to really be very much supporting it. And I don't think we want him to go down that road again where you campaign by insult and attack. And maybe you try to get some distance from it. But you either don't know what your campaign and supporters are doing or just giving them wink and you want them to go after Kamala Harris or after Elizabeth Warren. I think that's a pattern that people should take into account when they make their decisions. So I thought, the whole Democratic establishment, the Democratic elite, we're all about this whole message of unity and coming together and coalescing around whoever the Democratic nominee is for president. But I guess that's not the case when it's Bernie, when it's a progressive up there, people like Hillary Clinton and people like that. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I can. I'm not going there yet. I can't say if I support Bernie over Trump if he's the nominee. I'm just not there yet. Um, and this is like all coming out of thin air. I mean, there are some fringe supporters of Bernie Sanders that have maybe made some sexist or misogynist remarks, but by and far, the Bernie Sanders supporters that I've seen, when they're making critiques of Warren or Harris when she wasn't still in the race, it's very based on substantive differences on policy and platform issue. And again, I think Hillary doesn't want to discuss the issues of why she wouldn't support Bernie Sanders. She just likes to insinuate that he's some sexist and misogynist. And it's so telling that she's not able to come out and say that that she would support Bernie Sanders. Imagine if Bernie came out and had said that in 2016. And remember this, Bernie did around 40 campaign events in 2016 to get Clinton elected. Substantially more, multiple times more than what Clinton did for Barack Obama back in 2018. Speaking of, he allegedly told Senator Warren in 2018 he didn't think a woman could win, a statement he vigorously denies. How did you digest that? Well, number one, I think that sentiment is untrue, which we should all say aloud in reference to women. Did get more votes, which Bernie has pointed out in the past. What personal attack did the Bernie campaign allege or lobby towards Elizabeth Warren? It's part of a pattern. I mean, he wasn't saying you were unqualified because you were a woman, Hillary. He was saying you were unqualified because of your horrible policy position, supporting things like the Iraq War, supporting things like the war in Libya. He was talking about those. I want to elect a president who's going to try to bring us together and not either turn a blind eye. Oh my goodness. I mean, Hillary, honestly, do the country a favor and just go away at this point. We are tired of hearing about all the reasons why you think you didn't win the election in 2016. Instead of blaming Bernie Sanders, blaming Russia and all these other things, take some personal responsibility why you lost to the literally the celebrity game show host candidate. You were this career politician who was seen as being part of the political establishment, and you didn't even campaign in the Rust Belt. Look at some of those reasons why you didn't get elected, and stop trying to blame Bernie Sanders and his supporters for not electing you. Bernie did everything in his power to make sure that you were the president and not Donald Trump. Even though Bernie should have been the nominee and he was cheated out of it by the DNC, he still did what he thought was best because he thought Donald Trump was a bigger threat to the country than you were. But it looks like you're not willing to come out and share the same courtesy to Bernie that he gave to you. And it just shows that you're just all about protecting your own self-interest and not wanting to do any type of inventory to see again how you lost to Donald Trump, the least electable presidential candidate that we've had in history, and yet he beat you. So just go away, Hillary. Nobody wants to hear what you're saying with regards to Bernie Sanders or the 2020 campaign. Just go away. Give your big money speeches to Wall Street, and the go hang out and pal around with your bougie friends, and people in the United States have the work to do of getting Bernie elected, and it appears that you're not even willing to support him over Donald Trump, so piss off. Peace.